Patricia, please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible and
Asante.
clear.
Asante.
Please take us very slowly.
All right. So we divide the training in two parts. The first part is where we will go through the slides. So we get just to familiarize ourselves with then what we shall see on the second phase, whereby I'll be switching now to the live system to do the demo. And if at that point you will be comfortable through the slides, then you can join me as we go to the live bit of it. So this is KASNEB for student training. It's being conducted by UNES and it's for the August 2025 session. So this is our outline for the day, in that by the end of it all, we need to facilitate you and make you comfortable to ensure that you can log into the CBE training. And for now, I underline the word training. Okay. Because the CBE training is purely for the purposes of training. But as we transit now to the mocks and to the live exam, then we will be doing away with the word training. And with that, we shall only retain the word cbe.kasneb.or.ke. So for now, please be keen that we shall be on cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke, which is basically a replica of the live system without now the word training. So for you to log into this portal, of course, you do require to have a username, which is your email, and the password that you normally use to log into the CBE portal, or rather the online.kasneb.or.ke. The same credentials that you normally use are the same credentials that you will be using in here. But for one reason or the other, you may have forgotten them, or, or they are not working for a reason or two. Then we will show you how to do a reset of the password, just to ensure that it's working and you're comfortable in that on the last day or on the exam day, you don't end up wasting much time trying to reset and all that. So once you have your password, or once you manage to reset your password, please ensure that you keep it safe. Then we will understand the navigation menu and the layout of the platform, which I said it's a replica of the live system that we shall be using for the exams and for the mocks. So once you get to understand the layout and the navigation menu on the CBE training, then you can be sure that whatever you'll find on the other side now of the mocks and the exams, it will be purely a replica of the same. Then once we get to understand the navigation menu and the layout, we shall proceed on to accessing a sample exam that we have. And we shall try to deal with a variety types of questions that we shall find in there, like the multiple choice questions, the structured or the practical questions, and many more. We shall be able to see how we respond, how we give in our feedbacks, how we select the correct answers, or even how we tend to upload for answers. Then after that, we will be able equally to learn on how to edit an already attempted question. At times you may have done question 1, you have gone to question 2, but you have changed your mind, and for question number 1, you need to change the answer, or probably you have uploaded the wrong document on answers if your exam has uploading parts, and probably you would like to change from the wrong uploaded answer to the correct uploaded document. So we will be showing you on how to edit an already attempted question. Then after that, we will go to we learn equally how to submit and review the exam, because at the end of it all, the key thing is ensuring that we click on the submit button and we have a status that we normally call the finished state, because that is very key. So we will learn all that. Then towards the end of it all, I'll take you to some self-guide training materials. if you happen to join the training late and you find us on the way, or probably I'll be quick in some areas and you fail to grasp a concept or two, then I'll take you to some self-guide training materials that you can use, some materials that you can share as well with the many who are not in this training, as well as the frequently asked questions. And I'm sure these will respond to the many questions that you may be having within this session or beyond. Then at the end of it, uh, we will come to the question and answer session, and that will mark the end of our training. So just to go to a different slide, sorry. Uh, what are the resources that you require for this training as a student? Of course, you do need a laptop, a computer, or even a smartphone. The gadget that you have joined with this training, that is the device that we require basically for the training. Then, of course, you do need a browser of choice. And when I talk of browser, I'm talking of Firefox or Chrome or Edge or Safari or Opera Mini or any other that you are comfortable with. That software that you normally use to access internet, that's what I'm calling in here as the browser. Then, of course, you do need internet connection. And by the fact that you are in this meeting, it confirms that already you have an internet connection that should facilitate you uh, um, do the training and as well as access the CBE training. Then the other key item that we do need is that we need some basic ICT skills. And these are, I'm terming them as basic to be basic as I can. And by basic, I mean you can be able to open your smartphone, you can be able to power on your laptop. If I tell you open your browser, you can quickly be able to open your browser. Uh, if I tell you to type a bit, you can be able to type. With that basic skill, then you are quite ready for the training. Then the very other item that you do require, and it's key, it's the username and password for the portal. And when I talk of the portal, this is the portal that you normally use to register or to do the bookings for your paper. Okay. The portal that you normally use to do the bookings, the portal that you normally use to probably view your results. That's the portal that I'm referring to here whenever I talk of the word portal. So the username and the password that you normally use on that side are the same credentials that we will be using when now it comes to working with the CBE training. Now, we need now to know how to log in. So to log in, because you have your basic skills, at some point I'll tell you to open your browser. I know probably you're using the very same device to join on this meeting, just like I am doing. I'm using my own laptop, and I'll use the same device to open my browser of choice. In this case, it will be Firefox. Then I'll type this address. For you, it will be shared on chat when time comes. The address will be cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke. And I emphasize it's training because we're in the training phase. Then once we click on that link, or once you manage to type it on your browser, then of course it will open a page that will have these colors. So your work will be to look for login, ensure that you locate the login button. You click on it, then you'll have a place to type in your username and a place to type in your password. Your username in this case will be your email, the email that you normally use to log into this portal, the one that I'm calling the online.kasneb.or.ke. I'm sure you have interacted with this portal just recently when you are doing your booking, so I'm sure it's quite familiar with you. So the credentials that you used on that side are the same credentials that now you will use here. That is the email and the password. And then you click on login. So if at all you click on login and you get an error, that says probably your username or password is wrong, then you have this option here to click on forgot username or your password. And then you'll have some screen prompts that will guide you clearly to ensuring that you are able to regain your password. So if you're successful, then we should be able to proceed on to the next page. But it's good that I emphasize on this page that whenever you click on forgot password, it will take you to the reset page. And of course, on that page, it will prompt you to input an email. And you can see down here, whereby you'll be required to type in your email. And then you click on reset password. Once you click on reset password, an email will be sent. An email will be sent to your inbox. That's to the email that you'll have provided in here. So again, on this, you'll need then to switch probably to your emails. Ensure that you look for that email that will come from KASNEB. It can go into the inbox. At times, it can go to the spam folder. So ensure that you're able to navigate to the inbox or to the spam folder to look for that email that contains a token or a one-time password or a code that will facilitate you be able to regain access to your account. So the procedure on how to reset password for those who may be unlucky to not have their password, then the procedure is just straightforward. Then if you manage to log in, then we'll need to understand a few things. That's the navigation menu and the layout, and I'll only mention of the key things. In there, we'll be able to find a tab called My Exams. And clearly from my definition, you can see what My Exams is all about. This is whereby you get to see a list of all papers that you have registered for, or the papers that you have booked for. Then on the dashboard, again, you'll still be able to see all the list of exams that you have booked for. You are able to see whether those courses are in progress or those courses are the courses that you took last semester. And as well, you should be able to see a calendar still while you're within the dashboard. And on the calendar, we will be able as well to see the many exams that we have on our calendar and when they should be ending. Then equally, we will have a tab called calendar. That's now as a standalone item. And still on this calendar, you are still again able to see the exams that you have registered for. So the baseline is on all these tabs, whether you are on My Exams, whether you are on dashboard, or whether you are on calendar. So the key item that, or the common word that you're finding is that we have exams that you have been booked for. Okay, but probably we'll just stick with one, which is My Exams, which is more screaming and it's somewhere on top. And whenever we click there, then it will take us to the many exams that we have been booked for. Now, we will, of course, get into the 4 papers or the 3 papers that we have been booked for. Then we will select one of the 4 or one of the 3 papers. Then within one of the many papers that we have booked, we'll be able to find an exam. So to go to an exam, we'll need to go to My Exams, or you go to the list of the papers that you have been booked for. And you click on the paper that you would wish to access. For example, today, let's say we would like to access CM11, which is Principles of Entrepreneurship and Management. Sorry, it reads April, but we are in August. So we'll click on My Exam link and then be able to see an exam, which is CM11, and and what we'll be looking for is this title called CM11, Principle of Entrepreneurship and Management for August 2025. So that's the item that we'll click. And then once we click on it, we'll be able to see a button to the exam that reads Start Attempt. Then once we click on the Start Attempt, we'll be able to see a place whereby we'll be required to provide a password, because all our exams will be secured with an exam. For this sample training, we will share what the password will be. And for the mocks as well, we will be able to share the password when time comes for the mocks. But for the actual exams, for the live exams, then the password will only be keyed in by your exam invigilators for our own security reasons. So once we type in this password, then we'll be able to start the attempt. And of course, it's good to know that this exam will always have a time limit. Some papers will have a time limit of 2 hours, others will be having a time limit of 3 hours, and others 4. So it's good that you get familiar with the time limit that you have been allocated for each and every exam for ease of proper time management. Then after that, we will learn on how to answer and update our examination questions. Of key thing is that we will learn to navigate on these quiz navigation, which is very important, which you normally find it under the blocks. I'm sure you can see some few menu icons in here. So we will be able to unhide these question navigation block. And then we will be able to see the many questions that we have. And we will be able to navigate to each and every question. And of course, there will be different type of questions in there. Then at some point, we will learn on how to edit an already attempted question. Let's say you have done question number 1 and you would like to update the answer, or probably you have done a question that requires you to upload a file and you happen to have uploaded the wrong answer. We will be able to see how we delete and how we get to upload the correct documents. So we'll have some options to delete, we'll have some options to update, and so on and so forth. So then, as I said in the beginning, it will be very key to ensure that you submit your exam. And as you submit, at some point, you will be able to review your exam. This is the review normally happens after you submit. So you submit, then you get a review of what you have done. And after the review, then you will have a very important state here that reads finished. This is very key in that to ensure that before you walk out of your seat, you ensure that then you have this state called finished. This state is very important because if you leave your exam in a different state other than the finished, then it may not be very wise. So ensure that you have the finished state. All right. And then at the end of it all, that's the summary of what we will cover. So allow me to come back to this screen. But for now, that's the list of the items that we'll follow from the start to the very end. So now after this, now I would like now to transition from this side. I want to transition now from this side, and I would like now to go to a different page here, which is my browser. I want to open my browser because I'm switching now to the practical phase of it. So how do we open a browser? I'll start from that point because I said it's important that we have the very basic skills. So I'll go to the search and look for Firefox. So if you're on your phone, probably you can put the meeting in the background. You open your browser of choice. It could be Chrome, it could be Firefox, it could be Safari, depending on the gadget that you are on. You look for the browser of choice and you click on it. So I'll try to be as descriptive as possible so that for those who have put their meetings in the background and they are just trying to follow as I do it, then you're able to know that I'm on point A, I'm on point B, and so on and so forth without losing you. So once you open your browser, sorry, the next thing that you need to type is the address that I've just given, which is cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke. Okay, so probably someone will put this on chat. Then once you get onto this page, the next item that I'll be looking for is this login button. So whenever you get onto the CBE training, please just, because the other replica system will be very confusing, whenever you get in here, it's good that you take note of this red banner up here that reads of CBE, or, and sorry, I didn't even say what CBE is. CBE is an abbreviation that we normally use it for the computer-based examination. So whenever you hear me talk of CBE, it's an abbreviation for computer-based examination. Then we have the word training platform. So with that, then you get to know that you're on the training platform. So then the other one will not have the training platform banner up here. Okay. So just to ensure that you're not logged into the other live system, please ensure that you have the word CBE training platform. So then after that, ensure that you click on the login button. Okay. So I'll click on the login button. And then once I click on the login button, there'll be a pop-up that asks you to provide your username. And your username in this case will be your email at Gmail or at Yahoo or at whatever the email that you provided. Then, of course, you'll need to type a password in there. Okay. Then once you type in your password, then you'll be prompted to log in. So if you click login, then two things can happen. If you're successful, then you'll be able to manage to the other side of it. But if you're not successful, you'll still remain on the very same page. So let's try and see if it works. Well, unfortunately for mine, it doesn't work. So what am I then supposed to do? I'll be forced to click on this click forgotten password. So allow me first to ditch this screen. I'll click on the forgotten username or password. And once I click on forgotten username or password, I'll be taken to a screen that asks me to reset my password, as you can see up here. And on this screen, it has a place that I'm supposed to type in a valid password. Okay. Sorry, I'm supposed to type in my email. So in this case, I'll type in my email and then say, that's my email, student@gmail.com. Then I'll click on reset password. So assuming this is my valid email, I'll click on reset password. And if I click on reset password, then I'll have this prompt that asks me, reset password. Are you sure that you would like to reset your password? Then I'll say yes and proceed. So if I happen to click yes, and this is a valid email that exists on our database, then a token or a code will be sent to your email. And that code or that password, you can use it now to log into this side. Or rather, the instructions that will be sent into your email will guide you correctly on probably on how to update your password. Then once you get to update your password, you'll of course get back to the CBE login page. This type now, you type in your valid username or the email, and you type in the code or the password that you have set, and then you click on login. And this time now, we should successfully be able to log in. So it's just taking a few minutes. And in a few minutes, then we should be able to log in. So well, then we have managed to log in. So at this point, we get to know that we have logged in by the fact that we can see our name somewhere on top right corner. So long as you're able to see your name somewhere on the top right corner, and in this case, I'm using an account with the name student for training purposes. So long as then that I can see this name up here, then I get to know that I've successfully managed to log in. So for some students, you will happen to see that if you log in, you will be stuck on a page that tells you probably to update your name and your full name and your surname. So that's not a reason to worry. I'm sure we'll guide you on how to approach such scenarios towards the end of the session. So as I said earlier, to understand this platform, it's very basic. It's very minimalistic in that on top here, you are able to see a tab called My Exams with like a flag of 5 items. This is to mean that currently I have 5 booked papers. I'll explain why 5. If I click on the 5, or rather, if I click on my exams, I'm able to see I have a paper here called CFF11, which probably was a unit that I did in the last semester. But for one reason or the other, I'm still able to see it, but that's not a reason for worry. Then I have other papers here, which are CM11 because I'm a CAMS student. So I have CM11 all the way to CM14, which are the current papers that have been booked for. So on your case as well, if you go to my exams, you should be able to see maybe a few papers of last session. If you have not managed to clear the papers from your dashboard, then again you should be able now to see the current list of papers that you have been booked for. But for this session, because we're in the training session, so long as you can see at least one paper, whether it's a paper for last sitting or a paper for this session, then you're good to go. You are ready for the training, in that we just walk through the steps. Then during the mocks, we shall be able to confirm most of these things, that you have been booked for the correct paper in the correct center, and much more. So once you go to my exams, you get to see a list of papers that you have been booked for. And these papers will have the code, like now the CFF11. It will have the title, which is, in this case, it's Introduction to Forensic Account and Auditing. And then this is for Module 1. It's under CFFE, Module 1. If I go to CAMS 11, you can see that's CAMS Level 1, and so on and so forth. Then below here, you're able to see that I have a percentage which says 0 or complete. So this percentage has no meaning on your end, because basically it tracks what percentage of content that you have interacted with within this course. So this is not a display, or this is not a show that you have scored a 0 or so on and so forth. So this percentage down here, it doesn't communicate to you. It's of no importance on your end. Okay. So other than my exams up here, I say that we will talk of dashboard. So if I click on dashboard, then again, we have a timeline. We have a list of recently accessed courses. Like now you can see I've accessed CM14 and CM12. And down here, I have a calendar. And on this calendar, I'm able to see that today is on Friday, and I have quite a bit of papers down here. And if I happen to just take my cursor upon each and every one of them, then I'll be able to see the title for that paper. And all of them then will have the same title, because we are doing something that now we are calling sample examination paper for training. Okay. And if you happen to click on this, then again it will take us to the exam, but we'll come to that shortly. So again, if I go to the calendar still, I'll still see the same thing. Okay. So you can use my exams, you can use the dashboard, and as well you can use the calendar to navigate to your papers. But to keep it simple, I would like us to stick with my exams on top here. So if you click on my exams, it takes us to the list of papers that we have been booked for. So in this case, I've been booked for 5 papers. And for today, of course, I have a timetable, and so do you. And our timetable today says that we will be having a training for all. So I would like to take my training in the CM11. So on your case as well, on your dashboard, I'm sure you're able to find a paper of choice, probably a paper that you're familiar with. Just take one of the many papers that you can see. So in my case, I would like to take CM11. And if I click on CM11, Now I've selected one course and I want to go into that one paper and look for my exams now. Okay. So I've clicked on CM11 and clearly after I've clicked that, you can clearly see that takes me to Principles of Entrepreneurship and Management, which is the course. Then when I'm now within this course, I'll tend to forget about the menu on the left for a bit and concentrate on this page because the key thing that now I'm looking for an exam now within this paper. Remember, we started from here. I started from the courses. I have 5. I'm quite slow on this page because I don't want to lose anyone. So I started on the CM11, which is the paper that I would like to take. Then I clicked on it. Then I'm taken to the page for CM11. And on this page for CM11, I would like to look for the paper. I would like to look for my exam in here. And the exam that we're looking for is an exam on training. Well, we land onto this page, but we don't see anything. So what do we do? So we have this tab here called course content. If we click on it for a bit, we are able to see some sections called general. We have August 2025, April, and others down here. Okay. So through these, I can click here, then go to August 2025, and I'll be able to see a paper there, which is for August 2025. And the title, which I believe it will be the same for all the papers, is August 2025, Sample Examination Paper for Training. So I go back to the courses, CM11. No paper available for now. So what do? I click on course content. If you find that you cannot be able to see the paper directly onto your screen, you click on the course content, you go to August 2025 because that's the exam that we're looking for. If we were in April, then we would have clicked on April. But since we are in August, I'll click on August 2025. So I click on August 2025 and I'll be able to see the exam in there. Alternatively, on the right, if we focus on the right, we have a place for grades, we have a place for forum, and we have a place for quizzes. So again, if I click on quizzes, then I'm taken to a list of quizzes down there. And you can see that I have one quiz for August 2025. And if I go to the right, I'm able to see when the quiz is closing. I don't know whether you're able to read that. The quiz is closing on 17th of August 2025. And I have another one for April. So what do? Because of course April is way past, I'm supposed then to click on August 2025. And if I click on August 2025, again, I'm taken to the same page, just like I am on. So you have 2 options to navigate quickly to your quiz question, or rather to the paper. You can use the quiz content or the course content. You go to August 2025. We are able to see the paper. Okay. If you go to the quizzes, still again the same thing, and you're able to see the paper. But now that we have seen the paper, what remains? We need to be able to start this paper. Well, if I happen to scroll down on this page, I don't see an action that prompts me to start. If you're able to see the start button, that's what now we are looking for. We are looking for an entry point to this exam, and the entry point is the start button. So are you able to see the start button? No. So what does it require us to do? We probably need to click on this name up here, where you see August 2025 sample examination paper. That is the examination title. Ensure that you click on that. Okay, I don't know whether you have seen the title. Just to the right of this colored icon with the tick here, that is the title. So if you click on that, it takes us to this page whereby it says this quiz will open on that date and that time. So that means today at 9. I can see we are already about 1 hour into it. So still time is counting. But this quiz will close on 17th of August. So, and probably at this point, you're wondering, will your exams have this much amount of time? No. This paper is opened from today, August, to 17th of August, just to ensure that you have ample time to practice. So you can try a few questions today, try to upload, close the quiz, open tomorrow, open the day after, until you feel that you are comfortable. Okay. But for your exams, they will open on the same day and close on the very same day, probably 2, 3, or 4 hours later, unlike this one, which is left open for very many days. Now, into our exam, we need to get familiar with a few instructions here. And for your case, for your actual exams, it's good that you get familiar with your instructions because very few people normally read the instructions. But for our case, in this one, we will have to read. And it says, this is a sample training paper designed to help you prepare for your mock and for your final exams. Answer all the questions. The paper includes multiple choice, short answers, matching, essay, or structured questions. Then it's very important to note that the questions are drawn from various domains for training purposes. Probably you're joined in as an accounting student, but the questions that you will see are maybe from computing, just as an example. It doesn't mean that we were biased on one area, but purely because it's for training, then we had to draw the questions from variety of domains. So because it's for training, then we understand why you may not probably even find a question that is related to your domain. Okay. Then once you get clear with the instructions, or once you go through the instructions, down here, there is our entry point now to this quiz, which is attempt quiz now, or start the quiz. Then before we start the quiz, we still have some system instructions or system warnings down there that you have 10 attempts allowed. We'll, of course, then explain to you what attempts mean. Then, of course, you need a quiz password to attempt the password. To attempt the quiz. To attempt the quiz, you need to know the quiz password, which we are going to share shortly. Then we have a time limit of 2 hours. And of course, the last item, which does not make sense to us at the moment. So to get started, we will click on attempt quiz now. Then once we click on attempt quiz now, you see now we are on a page or on a pop-up that requires us to a minute. Okay. Yes, now we are on a page here that requires us to type in a quiz password. And this password will be students. I believe students small letters. Once you type in that password there, then the next thing that you will do is to click on Start Attempt. And let's click and see. And our password allows us to start the exam. And because it's successful, you can see that I've managed to go to the very first question. But unfortunately, I'm not able to see how many questions are on this paper. And why? Because we had like a block that was showing on the left. I'm not sure whether you can remember what I called it, which I called as a quiz navigation. Now that I'm getting started, I first need to locate where this quiz navigation is so that I'm able to navigate freely from one question to the other without being restricted of just moving next. I would like that freedom of moving from one question to the other. So if you focus a little bit on the right, there are these icons here, these arrows. It depends. Are they pointing to the right? Are they pointing to the left? So long as they are pointing to the left, then definitely you have these menu items here. And I would like you to focus here clearly. So that is on the left. We have a bit called course info. We have a bit called course section, Well, they are grayed out, so they are not very conspicuous. We have another one called course links, and we have one called blocks. And the blocks is the one that I'm looking for. So long as the blocks tab or the block button is active, then you are able to see the quiz navigation. If you happen to toggle it on this bar, you are able to see that I have this icon here that I can click to hide and show. Then my quiz navigation tends to disappear. Okay. Now, these are the questions that we have on our training paper. Clearly, you can see that our paper is sectioned into two. One, we have section 1, and 2, we have section 2. And very important, you're able to confirm that you are student 10 as you logged in. Otherwise, you're not attempting the quiz on an account that is not yours. So you are still able to confirm your name up there. So on this quiz, you can navigate freely from one question to question number 10 to question number 7 freely without being restricted as per how you can move. And you are free to start from question number 14 to question number 50 to question number 61 freely. Okay. Then at some point, you still have the time left. And because we just started this paper about 4 minutes ago, you are able to see that we have about 1 hour and 56 minutes. Now on this exam, I'll take the shortest time possible because we have done much on the slides. So now we get started with the very first question. So I click on the first question. This is the question. It says not yet answered and it's being marked out of 1. Then we have an option to flag the question down there. I'll explain what the flag means later. And then we have identify factors that distinguish a virtual meeting from a physical meeting. Then I have a list of possible answers provided. So this is just a sample question that you may find in your exam, depending on the format and the structure of your exam. I'm not saying that all your exams will have the MCQs, but it's good that you visit us on the mocks to just get familiar with the structures of your questions and the format of the paper. So whenever you get to encounter this type of question, you just read through, you get to evaluate the answers, and then you select the most appropriate answer, the answer that you feel to be the most appropriate. Okay, then as soon as you select the most appropriate answer, then you can move on to the next question. Now, on this question, I've just skipped question number 2. I've gone to question number 3. And this question looks like I need to do some bit of calculations. Well, as I said earlier, these questions are drawn from multiple domains, some from accounting, some from computing, and some from just general knowledge. And as I read through these questions, I can clearly tell that I need to get busy on a piece of paper, or rather on a rough paper, probably with my calculator as well, work out the question, and then compare what I got or what I will get against the list of provided answers. So it's good to highlight that I believe calculators are allowed into your examination room, but for the rough papers or the working materials, then I believe that one will be provided. So calculator, you can walk in with a calculator so long as your exam demands. And then for the working materials, that will be provided. So get busy on the piece of paper, work out, then what you'll get, compare it against the list of given answers, and then select appropriately. Okay. I'll move on to the next question. And since it's for selecting, I'll read through quickly and then select an answer of choice. So these type of questions, we normally call them the multiple choice questions. Because you have the question and you have multiple answers that you have been given or provided with, and you are required now to select an answer of choice, just a single choice. Well, if I move on, we will encounter some different type of questions, slightly different, Sorry, Patricia, am I still on? Or Simon? Or Jerusha?
Yes, you are.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm seeing some warnings here that my internet is not stable. Well, again, you'll encounter some different type of questions like this one. Which programming languages are commonly used for web development? Now, this sounds to be more of a computer domain related question. So with this question, now you have a list of possible answers, but it looks like you can select more than one uh, answer. So ensure that you only select what applies. Okay, of course, not the answers are correct, but just a few of them are correct. So in this case, you are able to select more than one um, answer. And how do you tell that you're able to select more than one? So long as you put your tick or you select an answer and you see a tick, then you get to know that you can select more than one. So on these type of questions, now these ones they are still multiple choice, but they allow multiple answers. So we call them the multiple choice, multiple answers questions. So they are a bit different from what we are on. These type of questions, they only require or allow you to select one question, and you have these radio button whereby you are only able to select one. And if you happen to select on a different question, then your previously selected answer gets deselected. Okay. So please take note of the two, which looks very similar, but they're a little bit different. Okay, I keep on moving on. So this is a different question. And again, I can select on what I feel as the most appropriate just quickly. And then I go to question number 7, which tends to read differently. And it's a question that we have not encountered. And it says, classify each of the following items as either assets or liabilities. Okay. Now you have an item here on the left, and then you either have to classify it as either an asset or either as a liability. So you have the accounts receivable, and then if you go to the choose, then you can decide, is accounts receivable a liability or an asset? So you ensure that you select appropriately. So you can be sure that whatever I'm selecting is not the correct answer, because this, of course, it's not an area that I'm quite familiar with. So you go to prepaid rent. Is it a liability or an asset? I surely do not know. Machinery, at least for that one, I know it's an asset. Lighting accrued, I'm sure I do not know. And those are the answers that I've selected. So what we call this type of question. So for this one, we call them matching type of questions. So you may find them, you may not find them. So we are just training you just to get familiar that in case you happen to encounter these different formats of questions, then you will be comfortable uh, 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 handling them with less stress or with less difficulty. So that is on matching type of question. So we go to question number 8 and we see what question number 8 gives us. So, and on question number 8, choose one type of nonverbal signal that matches correctly with what it represents. Then you have a list of possible answers. So again, this is an MCQ, or what we call as the multiple choice question. You have the question and you have the list of possible answers. So your work is only to select what you feel as the most appropriate. So I've selected, and I'll finally jump to question number 10. Let's see what's on question number 9. Good. So we go to question number 9, which is a little bit different from what you have encountered. And it talks of, what does the function control C keyboard command mean? And I believe you all know the answer to this. What does control C mean? I believe this is a common answer. I believe it means copy. So command control plus C, it means copy. So in this case now, I do not have a place to select whether it's copy, whether it's paste, whether it's cut, or whether it's underline. I do not have the list of possible answers. So my work now on this question, it will be to type. Now, these ones, we call them as short answer questions, or what we call as in abbreviation as SAQs, short answer questions. And why the word short? Because the answer that they demand is very short. You don't need to start typing control plus C means or adding other things like means copy. No, you just need to go straight to the point. What does control plus C means? And simple, it means copy. So the copy, it can be in capital letters, it can be in small letters, it doesn't matter so long as you type the correct answer. This is like simply asking you, what is the capital city of Nairobi? You will not start saying the capital city of Kenya, or the capital city of Kenya is Nairobi. No, you just go straight to the answer. The capital city of Kenya is Nairobi. So just type the word Nairobi, simple. So we go to question 10. Again, these are a little bit difficult. With reference to the OSI model, I believe those doing networking, they do understand what the OSI means. Which layer is responsible for establishing, maintaining, and terminating connection? So if you're familiar with the answer, then you just type there accordingly, whether it's layer 4, layer 3, or if you know it by name, you then just type what layer it is. Okay. So with this type of questions that we have encountered on question number 9 and question number 10, we call these as the short answer questions. So back to the flagging. Whenever you flag a question, remember I did flag question number 1, and now you can see that I've flagged as well question number 10. So whenever I flag a question, it means probably I'm not very clear with what the answer is. I'm not sure whether the answer is layer 4 or the answer is layer 5, but I'll come back to you later. So this is like just putting a note to a question that I'll come back to you later once I probably make up my mind. Okay? Or probably you get to encounter a question and you feel that this question must have an error, or probably it's not complete. Probably there is a comma or a full stop that is missing, and you would like to raise that with the invigilators. Just put a note, alert the invigilators, and then continue with the other questions. As the question gets corrected, you will not stick on the same question because you fear losing the question in the midst of the many other questions that you do have. You can just put a note on that question by just flagging. You continue with the other questions, and once you have the necessary corrections done on that particular question, then quickly you can come back to it without guessing which question it was. You quickly go directly to that particular question. After the corrections, probably you'll be able to see the corrections appearing. You interact with the question, you provide the answers required, and then you are able then to continue from the other point that you were at. Now, at this point, we are on section 2, which is on application type of questions. And on this section, what you will note is that we are not provided with answers. And these section 2 questions, they tend to carry more weight, because like now we are on question number 11. And clearly you can tell that this question is being marked out of X marks down there. You can clearly tell out of 20 marks. So they tend to carry more weight. So, and on our very first question, what it talks of is that explain the role of computational thinking in problem solving and its relevance in the field of computing. Then after I read that, I tend to scroll down to look what sort of answers am I supposed to give in. So on this area, I'm only provided with a bit of space whereby I can type my answers. What other method can I use on this one? There is no any other method provided for me to provide my answers. If I look down here, I'm not able to see a place provided for me to upload. So the only option that I do have is to type my answers directly onto this text area. So we call this the text area or the text box. So on this text box, you can type and type. I'm sure you can see the space looks a bit limiting, but as you type, it keeps on expanding downwards. So this does not mean that after you type one paragraph, then you say, I'm not able to continue because the space is limited. No, this space will keep on expanding and expanding until you exhaust the much that you need to type. Okay. So typing is as simple as you can see me do. So then on this one, you need, of course, to ensure that you have the basic skills that I talked of. Are you able to type? Yes, that's a basic skill that we are looking for in here. So after you attempt question number 11, which is simply typing, I don't have much answers to type. Probably I have my paragraph 1, I have my paragraph 2, and I have my paragraph X. So I'm done with this type of question. So you do not need to keep on formatting, saying bold to number. Just ensure that you type your answers in a logical manner as it flows from your paragraph number 1 to the very last paragraph without even indicating that you're on paragraph 1, you're on paragraph 2. You just type flowing downwards. All right. So that is in case you tend to encounter such a question. Now we go on to question number 12. And probably this is a question that some of you will find. And it talks of creating a Word document. Probably we will not focus on the very other parts of this question because this looks to be more of network-related questions, and probably we are doing accounting or comps and so on and so forth. But the key thing up here is that it talks of create a Word document called question 12. So that is a very important thing that I want us to take note and use it to capture the screenshots of your solutions to question number A to E. So to the entire exam, it's quite important that you get the instructions very clearly. So on this document that we are going to create, called question number 12, we will use it to capture the solutions for A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? So all the answers for this particular question will go inside this one document that we are going to create. Just as a reminder, how do we create these documents for the many of us who have forgotten? So I'll happen to open a Word document. So I'll go to Start. I'll look for Word document. Okay. This is the Word, or rather, this is the app for the tool, the Microsoft packages, and one of the many packages that we have is the Word. Microsoft Word. So I click on it to open, and then I'll create a blank document. So if you've forgotten on how to create a blank document, please ensure that you practice, improve on the basic skills that you do have. So I'll go to File, then before anything else, I'll go to Save As, because that's the key thing that before I get started, I do not want to lose my answers in between. So before anything else, I want to browse quickly and I would like to save my document first, because that's what the instruction says. Create a Word document and call it document. Is it question number 12 or 13? 12, yeah. So I'm looking for a place to save it. I would like to save it on the desktop. And this is it. And I've taken it to, on the desktop, I've taken it to a folder called KASNEB training. Okay. So I'll call this, sorry, question 12. So please ensure that you follow the instructions on your questions. So after that, then I'll click on save and my document is well saved. Then I'll get started. So I'll go back to the platform. So you see, I'm able to switch still. Remember, I'm still on the same device. I'm on my computer, but it's able to multitask. I'm able to move from the browser, go to the Word document. And I believe if you're on phone, though, it's a bit challenging, but still you can manage to do that. You open a Word document, you save it accordingly, then you use it to, you use that Word document to save what follows down here. So on that Word document, you're supposed to perform a practical activity and probably take a screenshot. So all the answers that you work out, even without going into the details of this particular question, they should go into these Word documents. So as you take a screenshot, you then ensure that you paste it in here. You go to the next page. If it requires you to take a screenshot, ensure that you upload it accordingly. And in the end, then you probably end up with a document that looks like this. So the part A, this is the screenshot that we took, even without showing you how probably I took the screenshot in the interest of time. I'm sure because you have the basic skills, please enhance on your basic skills and get to know what your exam requires you to do and practice on those areas. So the first bit of our question is in there. The second bit of our question is in here, and the others are following in here. And these other tools, plus their purposes, their answers are still in here. And now it's time to upload. Okay. So I would like only to focus on this one document that we just created because I want to show you on how to upload these. Now that I have all my answers, I've just pasted one image in here. And now, before anything else, I'll click save. Remember the first time I started with save as, and now this time I just click on save, or I click on the button save up here. And now I'm ready to upload this particular answer. So in summary, how do we tackle this type of question? So you ensure that you have created the Word document and you have named it as per the instructions. Okay. Then as you tackle each and every question, ensure that you put in the answers there. As you go to the second bit of the question, you can probably label the answers accordingly. If it's A, if it's part A, you say this is A, and then that's the answer. If you go to B down here, ensure then that you have the answer for B. Then if it's C, and so on. So after each and every pasting, then you ensure that you click on save. Okay. Just to ensure that at the end of it, you upload the most current document. Then now that I've saved my document because I'm done, now it's time to upload. Okay. So I'm done. I followed the instructions to the letter, and now I'm down here. Now remember, on these questions, I can type, but the nature of answers that are required for these questions, they are beyond typing. Okay, because in some instances, I'm probably required to do a design on PowerPoint. I'm probably supposed to work on an Excel document. Okay, so with that, then I'm not able to bring in my answers here. But I have a different option down here that we talk of uploading. Okay, you remember that my files are still on the desktop, and it's good that I emphasize here. Remember, when I created my document 12, I saved it somewhere on the desktop in that folder that I called as the KASNEB training. Now it's time to bring my file from the desktop onto the platform, because if I leave my answers on the desktop, you can be sure that no one will mark on your desktop. Okay, now it's time to connect the two. Now that my answer is ready, I'll need to bring that answer here. So how do I do it? Of course, I need to do the uploading, the taking it upwards. I need to lift it from the document or from the desktop and take it to this place here. So we have two methods to it. You can drag and drop, and you can upload. So I normally like the one for uploading. So we will click on this icon up here, and I'm sure you can see it. Where we have the upload area, we have the blue icon on the left that looks like the copying icon. So I click on the copy icon or the documents icon. Then I'm taken to a pop-up that talks of file picker. Now on this file picker, I have quite a number of options. I have recent, upload a file, private files, and many other options. My option or my interest is upload a file. Okay, so I'll focus on uploading a file. Then on the main page, or rather on the right, I'll have a place that asks me to put an attachment, either by browsing or uploading, depending on the browser that you will be using. So mine talks of browsing. So I'll click on the browsing. And if I click on browsing, you can see that it takes me to my desktop to look for the file, select it, and upload it to ensure that it is well captured or I've taken it to the examiner. So this is it. I'm on the KASNEB training, and this is the document that we just created at 10:35. I'm sure you can see the timing. It's 1st of August 2025, just to confirm that I'm uploading the correct documents at 10:35, and the document is saved. It has some bit of content. It has some size. Then I click on open. Okay, so the first thing is to select the document and then say open. And once I say open, besides browse or besides upload, it depends with how your device will read it. I have my question number 12. Then I have many other options down there, and I have the option to upload this file. So I don't input anything else, not unless I had saved the document wrongly and I would like to correct the name. Probably I was told to name the question as question 20, and I've named it as question 12. Probably I would like to correct that. I can maybe call it question number 12, Q12. So the name that I uploaded it with, then it will be changed to Q12. Instead of going with the question 12, it will go with the Q12. If you had saved it properly on the desktop, then you do not need to type anything on the save as. Okay. For the author, it automatically captures your name. You do not need to change anything on the license. You do not need to change anything. And with that now, we are ready to upload our document. So with this, I'll click on upload. So I click on upload this file. And the file is well uploaded, and you can see it in here. So this is question number 12. It's uploaded. It's already on the platform. Now we move on to the next question, which is question number 13. Which again requires us to create an Excel document and name it as question number 32. So this time I'll not go into the details now of the content, or rather of the questions, but I'll quickly show you on how to open an Excel document. So I'll search for Excel documents. That is the Excel document. So this time I'll again have to switch from the browser onto my Excel, work it out, take the answers back onto the platform, okay? So this is it. I'll click on save as. So that is always the first thing. You save as before you start typing your answers onto that document. Okay, so I browse. Again, the basic skills that I was talking about. Ensure that you are able to navigate to your desktop, which I normally take it to be the safest place to save the quick documents. And I'll take them to the KASNEB training this time. And this time I want to save it as question 32. That is the instructions. I know I'm on question 13, but the instructions talks of save it as question 32. That is part of the instructions. Okay. I'll click on save. So it's well saved. Then you as a student, then you will be required to go through the remaining bit of the questions. If this is a question that you are probably familiar with, if this falls under your domain, ensure that you interact with the question, get to do what it requires you to do. Then at the end, it emphasizes that ensure that you save and upload. Because remember, as we said in our previous question where we were working with the Word document, remember, as you save it, we have saved it on my computer, on my desktop, and the instructor or whoever is marking has no means of getting onto my computer. So it's my obligation to ensure that I upload this file onto the platform. This is very key because I've emphasized it for the second time. So what do you need to do? We need to upload it. Remember, I've saved it. Of course, no answers given. Maybe I can type just something small. So it has the word type. I ensure that I save it. Remember, I'm saving it on my desktop. Then, now that I'm done, I'll close it and then I'll come here to upload. So here we go. I'll click on the upload button. So let me start because I'm probably doing this for the second and the last time. We go to upload, then browser file. So I should be able to navigate to my desktop. I go to the folder that I'm saving my files under KASNEB training. Then I look for the particular file that I would like to upload, which is question 32, with all the answers on this question number 32. And then I say open. You can see that besides the browse or besides the upload, I have the question 32. And this is an Excel document, hence the extension towards the end. Then I have the save as. I don't have to type anything. I don't have to change the author. I don't have to change the license. So with this, then I click on upload this file. So the file is well uploaded. And finally, I have the last question. So what you'll note throughout this exam is that every time I attempt a question, then it tends to change color. It's of different color. And from this quiz navigation, I'm sure you can remember what we called this on the left, which is the quiz navigation. You can clearly tell the questions that I've done and the questions that I've not done. Since the questions that I've done, they are shaded differently from the ones that I've not done. So for the ones that I've not done, they look white. And sorry, I don't know whether it's white or whether it's a shade of gray. And the others are shaded, at least there is like a dark color. I may not be very clear on the colors, but they are shaded differently. So if I go to question number 14, clearly you can tell that it's not yet done. And the current question, of course, will be in red. Of course, you can see that it has a red border on it. And on this question, it's a question on PowerPoint. And I believe the three are the common, PowerPoint, the Word, and the Excel, including others who will be doing the design works and much more. So on this presentation, so what again you're supposed to do is using a presentation, you prepare a presentation and you call it question 33. And these are the things that you need to take in to your slide. And these are the more instructions that still follows into your Excel, so that by the end of it, then you score the marks given in there. Now on this one, I think I have the answers ready for this particular question. So my work will basically be to look for the answers. And this is my answer here. I'm sure you can see it here. Sorry. This is the question 32. I had done it before this meeting for the interest of time. So it's simple. You just open a PowerPoint. You save it accordingly as I've done. Sorry, it's opening. Then on my question 33, this is the match that I've been able to do. Well, it's just a replica of this training guide. And this is now what I need to upload. And this is the file, and this is the place where it's supposed to go. So remember, I talked of two methods of uploading. One, which was clicking on the upload, and I've done it with the Word document and with the Excel. And the second method is whereby we need now to drag it, which is the second method. So dragging and dropping is as simple as you will see me do. So what you need to ensure that you locate, ensure that you're able to see where the file is. And this is the place that you're supposed to take your file. So you just click, hold, and then you drag your file and take it over this uploading area and you just release it. Then you will see it upload and your file will be on the platform. So I'll do it for the second time. So allow me first to delete very quickly. So this is the Excel document. So I need to ensure that at least I can see the files that I'm to upload and I can see the area that I'm supposed to take my document to. So I drag. So the first thing is to click, hold, and click, hold. I click and hold, then drag and take it over this area. And that way I will have uploaded that document up there. So you have the two methods. Please choose which works best for you in case your exam will require you to upload a file. So you have the option to upload, you have the option to drag and drop. At the end of the day, you will have uploaded your files on the uploading area or on the files section. So with this, I've done all the questions, but I remember I still have my question number 1, which is still flagged, and I probably have made up my mind and I've changed my answer from D to C. Then I'll remove the flag. So you just toggle, it's just a toggle. You put it on and off. You click it, you click to have it, you click it to remove it. That way the flag is gone. I'll go to question number 10. Still with the flag, and I've made sure that this is probably layer 4. And this time now I'll remove the flag and I'm done. And if I now move to question number 14, the flag is gone. Okay, and quickly back onto our question number 11, which was on typing, and probably I still have some more paragraphs to type. Okay, and as I type, there's a scenario that I normally like to simulate at this point. You're in the middle of your exam, and for one reason or the other, you happen to lose your connection. Well, it happens, but it's not a common occurrence, but it may happen. And whenever you then happen to lose your internet connection, then what happens is that you get logged out. And probably I'll even go ahead and just log out. So, and whenever we log out, of course now, or probably we have a power outage, and all the computers probably will shut down. And maybe in 5 or 10 minutes, then you have the backup kicking in. Then you have to start all over again. You power on your computer. You open the browser of choice again. Probably you are using Firefox. Ensure you continue with Firefox, or you can even open a different one. And open the CBE training, the system that we were on. You may find that you have been logged out if it takes time to restore the conditions. And now I need to click on login. So I click on login, just as we did. I type in my username and my password because I can remember them. So ensure that you can recite your password. Of course, by reciting, it doesn't mean that it has to be very simple or very obvious. Just ensure that you have a password that you're comfortable with and something that is not easy to guess. So I click on login. And what we did, we went to my exams. That's what we did initially. And we looked for a paper. Mine, I took on CM11. Then when we got onto this page, we clicked on the course content or on the quizzes. I would like to go with the course content. Then we go to the August of 2025. Then under this August of 2025, we have this paper, but we do not, or we are not able to see the entry point to our quiz. So I'm supposed to click on the quiz title up here. Then once I click on the quiz title, what I should be looking for is the entry point now to our quiz, either a start button or continue and so on and so forth. And this is the button in red here. And this time, it doesn't read what it was reading when we were starting. I believe when we were starting, it was reading something different than what it is reading now. So I'm showing the first time it was probably reading start attempt, but now it says continue your attempt. So it means the system is intelligent enough to know that we were in the middle of our exam, but for one reason or the other, we were logged out. And with this, we can be able now to continue because our internet status has been restored or our power status has been restored. Probably the time is still ticking, but that's not a reason to worry because the invigilators in your center will get to record all these occurrences for consideration. So now at this point, I'll click on continue to your attempt. You can clearly see that I'm still in progress within my attempt 1. Remember I said I'll talk of what attempts are towards the end. So I'll click to continue with my attempt. And whenever I'm on this page, I'm able to see that, again, it requires me to type the password. And do you remember what the password was? In this case, we shared the password. It's students, and it's small letters. Because if you type S as capital and the rest as small, then it will not work, because we talk of case sensitive. Small letters should be small letters, capital letters should be capital letters. So after I've typed that, I'll click on start. I do not want to save that password. And then I should be able to continue, or the system is wise enough to take me back to the question that I was on. And this is the question that I was working on, question number 11. And you can see that I stopped at question number 11, where I was just about to complete paragraph Z, which will be my last paragraph on this. And I'm done with the exam. So now with this, time is still ticking. Remember, initially I said it's good that we learn to manage this time well. Time is still ticking. But fortunately, I've finished the exam early enough, and I can click on finish attempt. Sorry, the finish attempt is the last item that you will see on the quiz navigation. Or whenever you get to the last question, since there is no any other next, sorry, what's not happening? Okay, whenever you get to the very last question, you will as well see the finish button, since we do not have any other next. So finish attempt button then will indicate that we have come to the end of that paper. So I'll click on finish attempt. And when I'm on this screen, now remember I'm in the process of submitting my answers. And one of the screens that I'll get to is a screen that talks of summary of attempts. What have I done within this one attempt, as we come to the definition of what an attempt is? On the summary of attempts, you can see that I've answered question 1. Question 2 is not yet answered, and you can clearly see the status. But from question 2 all the way to question number 14, all the answers are well saved. But question number 2 is not yet answered. So what do? Do I continue and just finish and submit? No, because I still have time. Remember my time, I have more than 1 hour and 15 minutes. So at this point, I can click on question number 2 to go back to it and ensure that I update the answer. And I can see why I left it out, because it's hard, and probably I do not have an answer to this particular question. So I'll try to work it out and select what I feel as the most appropriate. Against the answers that I've gotten on my piece of paper, I'll compare it against the list of available answers and then select appropriately. And after that, then all my questions will be shaded in the same color to indicate that I've done those questions that needs to be done. Probably in section 2, the instructions may be different. Probably the instruction that time will say attempt 3 questions out of the 5, or attempt 5 questions out of the 10. I'm not sure what the instructions will read. So it's quite important that you visit us for the mocks to get the structure of your different papers. Okay. Now, at this point, before I submit, there is one thing that probably I've left out that I need to show you. So let's say you happen to have uploaded a document, like now the Excel document. And remember, we didn't type much on the Excel document, but probably you have part B and you have part C and you have part D, and you have added them to the Excel. You probably had uploaded it halfway. Then you realized, oh, I needed to do part B, C, D, and E on the same Excel document for the question 13. So you have updated your Excel document and you have saved it. Remember, whenever you save it on your desktop. Okay? But for the file that you uploaded, the answers are not updated. I don't know whether that is clear. In that whenever you save on your Excel document, whatever is being saved is the copy that is on your desktop, but not the copy on your portal, on your examination files tab. So what you need to do, you click on this document because you want to upload the current document or the updated document. So what you do, you click on this Excel. Well, in here you have two options. You have either the option to download or to delete. You probably do not have any business with downloading because you already have the copy, but you can do deleting. So I want to delete that file. Then it will ask me, are you sure you want to delete this file? And I'll confirm by saying, okay. All right. So the file is deleted and this space is empty. I do not have an answer for this particular question, question number 13. So what do I need to do now? Now I need to upload. So that deleting was important because at times you can upload the document, but you happen to upload the wrong document. So in that case, then you're now well enabled to delete or update the file accordingly. So at this point now, I want to upload the file, re-upload the file again, but this time I want to ensure that the file that I'm uploading is the one that I've just edited about a minute ago. And this is the file, question 32. Remember, those were the instructions. I know I'm on question 13, but the file is named as question 32. I'm just going as per the instructions. Then I open the file, then I upload that question, and the file is well uploaded. Now the updated version. And that way it ensures that the copy on my desktop is the same copy on this space. Okay. Now with that, I'm done, and I'll go ahead and click on the last button, which is finish attempt. I'll go to the summary of attempts. This is the much that I've been able to do. Then now I'll click on, well, I have two options: to return to the attempt if there is anything that I feel I've not done. Else, I can click on submit all and finish. And that's the next thing that I'm just about to do, submit all and finish. So I click on submit all and finish. And the next thing that I'll get, these are just more of prompts. Are you sure? In that you just don't click submit all and finish by mistake. There are some 2-3 clicks to it. Okay. So this is it now. Submit all your answers and finish. And now this is the final call. Once you submit your answers, you will not be able to change them. So at this point, you better be awake, because on clicking this submit all and finish, surely you will not be able to go, you will not manage to go back to any particular question to add a comma or even a full stop. So this is the final call to it. Submit all and finish. Are you sure? So if not sure, you can cancel, go back to the questions, update what needs to be updated, then come back through the steps, click finish, submit all and finish, and then submit all and finish confirmation. So now that I'm very sure that I would like to submit all and finish, I'll submit all and finish, and my work will be gone. So how do I confirm that my work is gone? So if I happen to scroll down, now this time below this page, below the instructions or below the cover page, I'll still see the 10 attempts, but below it, I have summary of the previous attempts, and it talks of just one attempt, which is in the finished state. Very important, in finished state. So now that it is in the finished state, I can comfortably log out of this browser. I just don't walk out of my computer and leave my page opened. It's good that I log out. And after I log out, then I can comfortably walk away knowing that I've submitted and finished my examination. So that will mark the end of one attempt in the case of training and for the mock. Remember, we still have some 9 more attempts to this exam because it's for training. Now, an attempt is from when you click on start button to when the 2 hours will lapse, or to when you click on submit all and finish. So that's what marks the end of the very first attempt. From the start to when you click on the finish button or to when the system forces you to stop. That's by submitting. After the lapse of the 2 hours, then the system will submit the exam on your behalf. And that will mark the end of your one attempt. And because this is for training, you still have some 9 more attempts, some 8 more attempts until you can exhaust them when you feel like you are now comfortable to tackle the mock and the exam. So probably for the mock, you will have 2 attempts. And now for the main exam, you will just only have 1 attempt. I'm sure now the word attempt is clear. It's from when you click on the start attempt until you click on the finish button or when the time allocated ends. That is when your one attempt will end. Okay, I hope now it's clear. The number of attempts, why there are many on the training, why they will get fewer on the mocks, and why you will find just one when it comes to the examination. So this has marked the end of our training on the CBE. And probably now we can get back onto our slides and we just see what we may have left out. So by now, I'm sure you should be able to log into the CBE. And now this time, remember, I'm talking of the CBE. And this is where now the mocks will happen. And consequently, it's where the final exam will happen. So now you are able to identify and open an exam. We are prepared to answer to questions. They can be of select questions. They can be of uploading. They can be of typing where appropriate. We are equally able to edit the answers, delete the uploaded files, and even re-uploading. We have done the submission of the exam in that we are not just walking out of the examination room without submitting and finishing our attempt and even confirming that we have a finished state. We are able to review the exam. And finally, by reviewing, I mean you are able to see that before you submit, you have these questions done. You have these questions that do not have answers yet. And you are able to go back to the questions and reattempt them and upload where necessary. And finally, we have been able to confirm the finished state, which is very important to each and every exam. And after that, then you confirm that you log out of the examination tab in readiness now for the next exam. So I take you back to the platform that we were on, which is cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke. We are in here because we are still doing the training, and once we get comfortable, then we will transit on to a different platform now without the word training. So even before we log in, just while you are on the homepage, up here we have this menu that reads from home, change password, FAQs, and many other things on this tab. I would like us first to go to the FAQs, or what you normally call as the frequently asked questions. And on this FAQ, if I click on it, even without logging in, it will allow me see a number of questions that probably you have raised within this session, or some questions that will probably pop up as you get familiar with the CBE, like what's CBE? Is it computer-based examinations, or is it the other term that you have just said? If you go to, like now on question number 4, what is the address for accessing CBE examination portal? And you have the 2 links. One is for the training and one is for the live exam. And I'll just sample a few. And if I go to question like number 7, I've forgotten my password. I've tried to reset, but it's not working. What will I do? So you have this answer here. You can write an email to CBE support. And not just only writing an email, you need to indicate your KASNEB number, or rather your registration number, your email, your examination booking, and what is the challenge. Not just a plain message saying, I've tried to reset my password and it's not working. And the follow-up will be, what's your email? What's your registration number? What's your center, probably, depending on the issue that you will be communicating on. So that's the email in there. And if I go further, and please take note of this, if you go to FAQ 10, I missed a training session. Where can I find the training recording? You should not worry. The training resources can be found on this link. So if you happen to click on this link, I click on it that way, then it will open. It takes me directly still on cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke. Then if you happen to scroll down, these are some short videos, these are some recordings for previous sessions that have been conducted. If you're not interested with the raw recording as they are from our previous sessions, you can go to the short manuals on how to log in, how to access my loft, how to access past papers. And if not that, we still have some short how-to videos on how probably to log in. If probably I was very, very quick on logging in and opening an exam, you can click on this and definitely it will take you to like a short video that talks of how to, then the title is there. How to answer to multiple choice questions, then the small video is there. So you basically focus on what you need to hear. How to answer SE type of questions. Probably you are not very keen when I was doing the uploading, or probably I skipped an item or two. Then you can quickly go to how to answer the SE questions and so on and so forth. Then how to submit, and that I'm sure will guide you. And the FAQ list contains all these important links. And it's equally good to take note that it's regularly updated, in that for now we only have about 28 questions. Probably come next time, this list of MC or FAQs will keep growing based on the questions that we see as the most asked questions. But that's the FAQ. So now, besides this, besides the FAQ and the manuals, it's good to emphasize again that you still have a replica of the same training on Monday and other trainings to follow. But it's good that I emphasize on the mocks, because I've seen a few questions on chat asking on how do you get passwords for the mock, and will it be graded, and much more. Please ensure that you attend the mock. And not only attending the mock on the platform, remember that we shall have a live session just like the one that we are having, where more instructions will be shared. So no instructions you will see via WhatsApp, no instructions that you will see from friends. Please purpose to attend to the live session that will be shared with the dates and the timings. Ensure that you purpose to attend that. And just to emphasize what are some of the importance of this mock, it confirms that you are able to log in, you have the correct center, you have the correct papers booked, you get to familiarize yourself with the structure of the exam, you are able to revise, and not only revising, you are still able to practice on the various aspects that you have been trained on. May it be uploading, may it be deleting, editing, submitting, finishing, and all these things that you have been trained on. So other than that, because I know I'll not have any other chance, I want to stop at that and wish you the very best in your forthcoming exams. And bye for now from my end. So over to you, Patricia.
Thank you. Maybe we get back to Stanley. There is one unique question here, but the person is anonymous, so we can't even give them the mic. On the annuity table for people sitting for fundamentals of finance. Stanley, you have any information on that? Or we can instruct the student to ask via email in detail and they'll be responded to. As Stanley checks on that, Jerusha Kimani, do you have any Any answers to the questions that have been asked? What has not been answered so far?
Maybe just a few. There's one person who said they cannot see any August 2025 examination. So maybe they can share exactly which exam they are trying to access so that we can check on our side what could be the issue. The other thing I think we need to remind them is to make sure, and this has been said before, just emphasizing that before exam starts, they make sure that they can be able to log into the system and they can be able to see all the exams they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That person who is not able to see the August 2025 also confirm that you're in CBE training. Because if you're logging into CBE at kasneb.or.ke, you will not see that paper. The paper is on cbetraining.kasneb.or.ke. Please allow me to invite Dr. Omondi Loade. Kindly, maybe say something to the students and maybe you can respond to a question that has not been answered. Dr. Please.
Okay, thank you, Patricia. I'll only wish them all the best. Let the students practice and ensure they are comfortable on the examination day. We normally find students who are interacting in the online exam the first time on the examination day, and sometimes they struggle and it becomes difficult to support them. Also, I wish that if my exam is missing on the examination day, where we are always there to support you. All centers will have the support staff support you. So in case there is a problem of that nature, then it will be addressed administratively. Otherwise, I think all the questions are exhaustively answered. And that is all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Loade. There is Stacy Mueni who is asking, will our mock marks be added to our final exam marks? Mock is not marked. So mock is not added to the final exam mark. As I said, mock is a practice session for you to be able to log in, to be able to find your paper, to be able to revise, to be able to see the structure of your questions, and then to be able to submit and confirm that you can do the exam flawlessly. Very important to do the mocks, but mocks are not marked. Anything you have to add, Odaga? Joseph, please.
Hello, I have nothing to add. I've assisted those who are not able to log in.
Okay, then maybe we can have Simon Thiga, please.
Thank you, Patricia. Most of the questions have been addressed extensively, but I have some just two questions I have seen from ATD students asking whether they'll have spaces to do their calculations. That was clarified by Dr. Patricia in the beginning, that you'll be provided with calculation booklets, or you'll do your calculations and then you select your answers on the platform. Then there is the DDMA students who are asking whether the softwares that are required to do their exams, softwares like the Python programming, SQL Server, RStudio, whether they are pre-installed or they install them themselves. Maybe Stan can clarify that, but I can say that the softwares are always pre-installed in the computers that you are going to use to do your exams. But if there is any further clarification on that, Stanley can take up that question. And I don't think there is anything else I've seen. All the others have been addressed. For me now is for you to encourage you to do the practice on the training platform and attend the mocks on the stipulated dates, and then all the best for your examinations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In the interest of time, we'll be adding the training here. With this information that we're also training on Monday, same thing, we'll be sending you the videos. Please also check the frequently asked questions. Then you'll be very sharp on Monday when we do the last training. And allow me to invite Joram Kinuthias, who is our team lead in UNES, so that he can close for us the session. Joram, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patricia, and the entire team, including our students, candidates for August 2025, for attending this important webinar. Also at KASNEB, and also the members here representing the different institutions where our students are coming from. So CBE, or computer-based examinations, have been there for the past 4 years or so, almost going to 5, about 4 years. And as you can see, it's now something that is a reality here with us. And that's where the world is heading. We are going into tech, utilizing tech in most of our life activities, communication, entertainment, now exams, learning, all those things. So I think for me, it's just to encourage our students, get a good device, practice. Exams is about practice. Attend our webinars, ask questions, ask for help where you get stuck. And yeah, so that when you're sitting for the exams, technology is really not a barrier, but an enabler. So for me is to wish you all the best. Keep checking the communication from KASNEB in terms of the centers, your papers, whether you've been enrolled to the correct one, and wishing you all the best. And I hope to see all of you on Monday, next session. Your friends who didn't join, kindly encourage them to join, so that they are equipped, they're able to log in, they confirm their passwords are working, and there are no hindrances as far as the platform is concerned. So I wish you a very nice day as you prepare, and also as you go into the weekend. Bye-bye for now. See you on Monday. Thank you.